Looking to learn life lessons without going through the experience? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Hidden Struggles with your host, Lady C.
Hey, this is Lady C coming at you, all of you beautiful people. I feel like you are so beautiful because you're sitting here listening to my video, hearing what I have to say. You're educating yourself. You're looking for information. And that is a beautiful thing, to just look for information, something that can help you in your life. Now, everyone that's tuning into my broadcast here knows a lot about my background. And for those of you who don't know, I am an ex-Jehovah's Witness. And a lot of people say, oh, don't tell people that you are an ex-Jehovah's Witness. But what that means is I used to belong to this religion known as Jehovah's Witnesses. And I woke up one day and realized that I was walking in the wrong direction. And I said, no more. And walked away from it all. Friends, family, everything. Because I realized that my mental health was worth more than connecting to people in this group. And a lot of other people feel the same way. And that's why there's a community called XJW. And the XJW community is comprised of so many people that have walked in the same shoes, down the same paths, and we can relate to a lot of the same issues. And a lot of people, they make it through. Some people are still struggling. Some people are what we call PMO, which means they're physically in, mentally out. Now, what that just simply means is these individuals, they want to continue having a relationship with their family and friends that believe this is still what they call the truth. And they don't want to sever those ties. And so they've decided to continue going to the Kingdom Hall as if they were a regular believing member of this group. And that way, they can then continue having these relationships with the people that they're endeared to in their lives. And so they're called PMO. And they suffer through the meetings, going to the Kingdom Hall, listening to these different talks, these conventions, and all these different things that the group puts out. And they are frustrated because they know that what they're listening to is not what they term the truth. But if you walk away from this group, that means that you can no longer associate with these individuals that call themselves Jehovah's Witnesses. So this is very stressful, very, very stressful for these individuals. And then, of course, like people like myself who decided to leave, walk away from everything, you rebuilt your life. You've gone back to school. You've got your degree. You've got whatever it is in your life that you're trying to attain. And let me say this, just because you leave the religion does not mean that you are, in fact, really and truly 100%. Because you didn't get that start that other people had. You still have that training that you received from this religion. So you still have a disconnect with a lot of people in what we call a normal world. Okay? So don't feel bad if you're still struggling. Don't feel bad if you've left and you've been gone for some time and you still don't seem to be where you want to be. That's normal. And a lot of people probably never will be where they want to be in the world that we live in. But I wanted to make this video to tell people, don't worry about that. Because what you should do is you need to compare yourself to you and you only. Where have I been? What have I been through? How do I compare myself to what I was 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 5, 10, 15 years ago, if that's your case? Only compare yourself to you and how you have struggled and how you have made changes. Now, I find it interesting because I look at a lot of people who were never part of this religion. I look at these people and I say, look, these people, I got people that I may work with, people I live around, people in the community where I live at, and they were never Jehovah's Witnesses, even family members. And I'll tell you right now, I'll be willing to put that bet out there and let you know that the life that I'm living now is better than all of them, and in some cases put together. And the reason why I say that is because just because you are not part of a cult or a part of a group that tells you stop living for today, people, because the new system is around the corner, just because they didn't belong to that group does not mean that their life is going to be any better than yours because you were given that prescription and you live by it. That's not what that means. Everybody is struggling with something. Everybody has some dilemma, some kind of a situation in their life that keeps them from moving forward in their lives. So don't always sit back and think that because you were part of a cult, that your life is worse because somebody else, the guy next door, the woman next door, their life wasn't in that situation. That's not what that means, because everybody is struggling with something. And so I tell people, don't worry about what yesterday bought for you. Don't look at the past. Stop looking at your past. Where are you today? Look at who you are today. Look in the mirror and say to yourself, I'm glad I have educated myself about my past. Say to yourself today, I am glad that I no longer think the way I used to think yesterday. Stop looking at your past and judging your future. Because this is what's happening to so many people, that they feel like they've lost so much time, but in essence, they really haven't. What I tell people to do today is look in the mirror and ask yourself, how will I walk differently? How will I tread, and how will I show myself to be different? How will I start making progress? How will I begin to live my life going forward? Stop looking back. Stop looking at your life in the past and start focusing on your future. And so these are the kind of things that we have to look at. We have to look at ourselves and realize that we have to start looking forward and not backward. Because when we do these things, when we keep looking back at what our life was, we cannot make progress on our future. And I constantly tell people, and I always call myself the accidental coach, and I tell people, hey, look, I just end up in these conversations with people, and we just have these organic conversations, and we start talking about life and how we were held back and how we wish we could have done this differently and all this kind of thing. But that's your journey. That's part of your journey. Your journey was doing whatever it is you did. And if you change that, would it make you a different person than you are today? Probably so. Because our experiences, it's our life experiences that gives us the fortitude, if we choose, to make changes according to the way we lived our life in the past. And that's why I try to tell people, do your best to put your best foot forward, and you'll never know where that could take you. So I hope this video has been a little bit, kind of encouraging, because I want to be encouraging to people. I want people to look at themselves and not beat themselves up, because the people that I talk to on a daily basis, that's what they do. Sometimes people, they can't get past their problems that they experienced in the past to the point where they could just begin to pick up the pieces right where they are. And I'm encouraging you to do that. I'm encouraging you to look forward to being more positive in your thinking, to be more in step and in tune with how you can educate yourself, be more knowledgeable, be more well-rounded. I feel like sometimes people, we get in these situations where we end up in a situation where we try to be like people around us too much. we sacrifice who we are inside so that we can look like all the people that we're trying to be like. And I will tell you in a heartbeat that that person that you're trying to be like might not necessarily be the happy person that you think they are. Okay? So try to be more in tune to who you are and what you want to do. And you will find that you'll be a much happier person because you can't peer into everyone else's life. You can't look at other people and really see what's happening in their world. And if you knew what was going on in their world, then you may be saying, oh, let me stop trying to align myself with these individuals. And what I'm saying is this. Those people in the world that are rich and famous, are they really as happy as they appear to be when you see them on TV, online, or whatever? So don't always be so quick to think that everyone else's life is better than yours, because that's not necessarily true. But just be more in line and in tuned to your thoughts. This has been Lady C. I want to thank you so much, you beautiful people out there, for being in my audience. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Thanks so much for listening to Hidden Struggles with your host, Lady C. This program was sponsored by Critical Thinkers, online at hiddenstruggle.com. Feel free to send an email to info@hiddenstruggle.com, and we'll catch you next time on Hidden Struggles. The views and opinions of our guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Critical Thinkers.